Hello everyone, it's been a while. My name is Raxern, and this is going to be a documentary of what I'm doing right now, or where I've been, so this is like a real long talk, so if you prefer not to watch like a video that's over an hour, and also ignore the background just because it's noisy, um, I don't recommend watching this video, but for those who take this very seriously, I recommend you watching it as well. So, I just want to point things out. Like Raxern, where have you been, and why you're not posting so much videos as often? Well, I have a couple reasons of why I'm not doing much videos that lately. Because I do walkthroughs and other gamings and that stuff, and I didn't really have time for it. Just because of education and work. Yeah, that's in real life stuff. That's like always an excuse of everything. But hear me out on this. Because when you balance education and work, it's basically you need to it's basically everybody's like important thing, like because you don't want to get fired at work, or you don't want to get left behind though, so that always comes first though. And that also I wanted to mention that like other than the in real life stuff, there's also things that like how some things where I wanted to do, and sometimes I have passion to do things, and also I've been through other Discord communities, and they have some major effects like I do as well. And that maybe just sorry, I even know I'm stuttering though. I thought that like because there's been a lot of struggles lately of how how some people can sometimes lose passions, or sometimes they don't really do what they want to do, and people really have dreams. And for me, I don't really give up my dreams that much, and sometimes I really want to keep doing it, and I don't really give up what I'm doing though. And the reason why I haven't uploaded so many videos is that there's so many things going on, and it's really hard to multitask though, and I really couldn't up schedule. And not only that, because I've been also helping other online virtual players as well, because to do many kind of assistance what they require with though. Basically, I've been to multiple communities, and for some reason, I they said that I was really important to their communities just because of how I behaved or something like that. And just that fact that I'm not saying that I'm quitting YouTube or anything. I don't really make using YouTube to just to make money or something like that. Or no, I'm not that type though. I'm just only doing it just to store memories, and it's just the purpose of entertainment though. And I do like to bring entertainment to people, and what I'm doing right now in MC right now is I'm kind of working on a content I really wanted to do so hard, and I've been doing past contents of what I've been working on, and it's basically really kind of time consuming of what I'm doing. So yeah, so basically to explain what content I'm doing, so in MC there's been a lot of changes right now, so and I couldn't really really just rush through them, because every time you rush through doing something, you kind of ended up messing up yourself as well. And just to make sure to know what you're doing, and and yeah, because sometimes when I kind of do things, I sometimes messed up, and you need to be very take times then. And when I try to create content, people sometimes think like, when's the time to do stuff or that stuff, and I've been receiving a whole ton of criticism. No offense to people who've been receiving it, but somehow when I receive these criticism, it's a really bit sensitive as well. But I try to listen to them as well. I couldn't really argue back of all this criticism just because I don't want to be a primary suspect of being a douche, and so I'm not going for that route. And I thought to myself that every time I try to help or try to make content, it just keeps happening, and there's nothing you can stop on it though. It doesn't make me well, it kind of does hurt me a little bit, but not too much though. It's just the fact that I get used to it all the time, and I couldn't really really do anything against it though, because why would I waste time to go against something that what people was right about? And I don't want to assume that I'm always right to know things though, because it kind of pressures me a lot. So that the fact that I couldn't think of something at the same time, and hang on, just fact that let me just and So the fact that like oh, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. So the fact that like I like take why I was delayed of doing stuff, it's just because these things are time consuming, and like I couldn't really like rush through them like I said earlier. And when I first creating MC contents for the first time, I've been receiving a few criticisms and I've received reviews of what it is. I try to listen to it as much as I can, but then some people just don't really don't understand about my circumstance though. I mean, no, if you do understand my circumstance, you'll probably understand what I'm talking as well. And the fact that like how when I try to help people, when helping other people in other communities, it kind of delay of my dream of what I'm doing right now. It's just the fact that like how it kind of struggles me a lot though. The fact that like some people can't really help themselves, or some people can't really learn to do things. I'm not saying that people are dumb or anything, but like it's kind of a time consuming of letting someone do the work for you and that stuff though. And when I try to yeah, and it kind of delays my contents that much. So when it comes to creating vanilla contents, it takes time. It literally takes time of what I'm doing though. And the fact that like how I'm trying to do stuff, a lot of people say, dude, come on, Raxern, why you spend so much on vanilla cam? Do plugins or do mods. They're so much easier. Well, yeah, I do agree with that. But the point is that like, what if some people can't handle mods and plugins? You gotta think about it, because like I don't really think about myself. I always think about like other players, what they want though. And it's really hard to come up with it because some people are very complicated of what I am, of what they wanted as well. And I couldn't really argue that at all. So I just technically agree with it. And the fact that like how everything is like really like it's really not really I don't really know what to say though. Shoot, I kind of forgot though. I wish I could take my time to learn things though, but then again, I guess I can. Oh, and so like how I always reasoning with criticism a lot, and it does really pressure me a lot of times though. I mean, like, so like when I first started making a YouTube video, I kind of trying to just post like all the stuff what I can do though. It's not really meant to be of what I'm famous for or just be making money, just like big YouTubers such as Markiplier, Vanos, or even Syndicate, or I don't even know. Like there's a lot of great YouTubers out there. They have their dreams to do of YouTube. For me, my dream is to just do stuff what I used to do. But then again, some people really need me, and it kind of delay my dreams though. And yeah, though. So, and I've been trying to split my time with other community as well, but it's pretty hard to balance that because when it comes to creating content, when I'm making things, a lot of people said that it was pretty okay, like pretty good exactly, and some people are saying that they don't like it just because the way I'm doing was kind of like irregular and just stick with the mainstream. Well, okay. Mainstream, sticking with the internet trend of the mainstream is okay, but sometimes some people feel like it's get boring because it's so repetitive and things like that. And I always try to come up with something original, and just because I try to do inspiring, that doesn't mean I'm trying to rip off something or like making a spin-off of something, unless I attempted to do so, though. And the fact that like how I'm explaining right now, and it's pretty much complicated of what's going on. So yeah, so I do wanted to finish what I'm doing as fast as I can, but like when it comes to being involved with other communities, it delays me a lot. Not offense to that I joined though. I mean, people that other communities I joined, they're pretty, they do respect me just because the way I behave and that stuff, and I don't really kid around though. And a lot of people think that I'm always way too serious of what I used to do, but I can sometimes mess around something, but not too much though, because it's a fact that like some people's different opinions is really hard to compare with, because when it comes to people's opinions, you don't really assume that what they like and what they don't like. So when people like something or don't like something, there's kind of like nothing to like argue about, because that's their opinions though. And like it's really hard to come with the common sense with other people as well. And just because I have like when I hang out with so much of my friends, they just just do what they want to do, and for me, I just do what I usually just follow them, because I don't really do what I want to do that much, just because of everything what I did was kind of I don't even know though. But yeah, because like I just really wanted to do like trying to see if I could try to do most of these though. So like I do apologize to my friends about why I'm speaking this, but I just want to like let it out, because keeping it inside of me, it kind of makes me have internal anger, which is like not really good for my health though. When you mostly keep things inside a lot and don't want to know the truth and that stuff, it kind of makes me frustrated a lot though. And that the fact that like how like I like sometimes when I try to do things, I sometimes get angry on myself on the inside, and a lot of people don't know that. I'm in the outside, I may look like I might be somewhat calm and try to be myself, but in the inside, I sometimes have a psychopathic anger. Like sometimes I always felt angry to do things though. So, and not a lot of people really think about that, because some people have internal feelings as well, and I don't really want to show it in the public because I don't want to create a bad reputation of myself. I mean, sure, I've been doing a lot of bad problems lately though. I just want to hide all of that though, because but then again, it's making decisions of what you're doing is sort of hard, and I just don't know what else I could say about the fact that like how I can't really I don't even know what to say though. It's kind of complicated though, and I should like man. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering a lot. I'm not used to this. Speaking of which, how people always want to make fun of me sometimes, or trying to make a fool of me sometimes. I sometimes get used to it, but I kind of felt like I always being myself a punching bag a lot, just because I always seem so fragile and I don't really fight back, because I don't want to fight. I don't want any conflicts of what I hear though. But then again, there's nothing I can change though. That's pretty much just normal for a lot of people these days though. And that the fact that like how I couldn't really handle myself, and sometimes I can't handle others, because every decision I make, it's like a risk of doing stuff at the same time. So like I shouldn't be talking right now, but like then again, I wanted to let it all out, just because hopefully everyone will understand about it. I mean, I'm still doing my passion of what I'm doing. I mean, if I'm gonna be able to upload more, it's gonna like fuel up my time a lot though, because I know like people think that uploading videos every day is so easy and stuff. Well, that's on your dream. For me, that's not my dream though. My dream is to entertain people of what I can do and what I can. No need to brag or anything though, to be honest though. I mean, sure, a lot of people think I'm bragging a lot, but when it comes to bragging, I wasn't really being actively saying things like oh, look at this, this is like something I want to show you really bad, or you better not know this right now. Everybody needs to know this. I'm not really been active. I'm just trying to stay passive as much as I can. I mean, sure, I make mistakes sometimes, and it's kind of hard to like control myself sometimes, because I do have a disability as well, and the fact that like how I try to get along with people, it's pretty much a tough decision to make though, and basically everything else. Although with that being said, I will still be around I'll still try to upload videos, but you'll see rarely that happens though, cause just because what I'm doing though. So don't expect me to upload videos like every week or something like that. It's just I don't really have a dream for being a YouTube famous or something. It's just it's like a tool of what I'm using though. I use everything as a tool, and yeah, cause like the purpose of the YouTube is to know what I am, and it's like a persona of what I'm working on. And the fact that how well using a YouTube is something, because like I do have plans for my content as well. So PvE contents, talking about it. So in Minecraft, I used to, back in the old days, I used to make like mini games back in the old days, and they're pretty much low budgety, like how like everything I do was like old fashioned. But then every update of MC there is, it kind of got me into it though. So, and people thinking that I might be addicted to Minecraft just because I always create things and never get bored of the game though. That stuff. Well, yeah, I do get the point, but it doesn't really stop me for some reason. I do have passion to make things though. Maybe I might retire though, but I'm not exactly sure. But I still have plenty of ideas on my head though. So like, the first PvE event I worked on was like was actually based on SMP from a faction server community that I used to participate with, and the founder, which is technically a name of the owner of their community, just because their style of what they talking about. I did create it for him and his friends, and they seem to enjoy it though, like just because with the way I'm using though, because they thought I was might be doing something suspicious when I asked them for war files, because like that's really pretty much uncommon of like how people ask you about war files and probably do something. A lot of people's instincts will probably do it like just to make it into a big mess or just like griefing it or something. Me, I just want to create something using the tools I could use, because like using tools from like other things, it just gives me ideas and that stuff. But I'm trying to keep things original as possible as well, so I don't want to rip off people. I always need to ask permissions, because like every time I always do things, I might end up getting in trouble though. That's what really makes me afraid. And I do want to entertain people as much as I can, but then sometimes there's always like dramatic things happens, or sometimes like things I don't agree with and that stuff. But it's pretty much life of what it is though. And a lot of people say like life sucks and that stuff. I mean, sure, yeah, people say that. I meant sure that depends on the same people. I do have a life as well. It is a bit struggling though, but I'm not saying I hate life, because if I say I hate life, that means I just give up. For me, I just don't really give up though, and it's pretty much hard for me to balance things what I'm doing. So like, all right, back to the topic of PvE events. So the first PvE event, so about this SMP, it's pretty much a big town. Hang on, let me just get to it though. So what I'm doing for what I'm doing right now is to remaster of what I'm doing, try to make things better than usual. And I used to go from small to large as I can, and it's pretty much time consuming. I mean, you can't really rush to do things though. I mean, some people are impatient and some people are patient. I mean, there's nothing like, you can't control a person though. But however, I can't control of what my decision is though, even though sometimes it's hard. So like this town right here, this is based on the SMP. So I've been working on like somewhat known as the Cryptic Revolution, which is actually from a faction server. So talk about the story right now. So my original idea of making this is like, I want like, there's like a few remaining members of the faction. Their town has been taken over by a criminal organization known as Mob Corp. I usually have a lot of fantasy, and a lot of people saying that like, dude, just go to reality. You have a lot of fantasy in your head right now. I meant, sure, I'm trying to balance that as well. I am trying to be reality as well, but sometimes being in fantasy kind of gives me a shining bright light, because being way too serious, sometimes it stresses me out a lot though. So like, my original plans for this town is I was trying to do a lot of things, but like, I wish I could get some help as well. But then some people really don't understand what I'm doing at all, because I wish people because like if people understand what I'm doing, they can help out. If not, then I don't think they recommend helping me on stuff. Don't get me wrong though, I do see some people are better skills than me, or some people really want to be like what they wanted to be, and that's fine with them as well. Because the fact that of how everything what I used to do is kind of different. Because right now you're probably wondering like, well, Raxern, why are you just playing MC and just messing around and stuff? Well, technically not. I'm actually just doing a lot of things though. Like, even though I'm not doing anything, I'm just trying to get the perspective. My vision of my imagination, it kind of brings me up a lot though to make what I'm doing though, and not much on YouTube. I mean, sure, I've been playing with friends a lot lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, playing with friends is nice as well, but then sometimes I wanted to do something original, and doing something original content, it kind of gives you an easy head start, because doing something a lot of inspiration, it's sometimes a bit limited unless you know what your fandom is though. But for me, working for original content gives me a lot of passion, and every time I always want to make a dream of what I could do is possible. And a lot of people said that, like, and some people say that Minecraft is pretty much limited. There's nothing much to do. It's just some, and the updates, they take months to update the game. I mean, yeah, I can agree with that as well, but that doesn't really stop me from doing it. I just have ideas though. Like, a lot of people you think Minecraft isn't much of a game, and you just basically just doing the same old usual again. I sort of disagree with it. Yeah, there are the primary aspect of when you're playing like an SMP or survival though. But for me, I'm using it as a source engine tool, and that's what it got me into creating content though. I mean, like right now, you can see I've been doing a lot of things, and this might be spoilers of what I'm doing right now. So back to the story. So the first PvE event, the story takes place like probably like a few years after the SMP was over that I used to play with the faction member servers, and I just thought like it'll be cool. What if I make an alternate universe about what happened to them after a few years, and somehow their town was taken over by a criminal organization, and their mission is trying to take it back, whatever the causes are. And ever since I released that, it kind of got into me, and a lot of people said it was pretty good, and they think that I should improve it though, and I was like, yeah, I guess I do it as well. And so I did. I did make a second SMP PvE event, and then a third one, and so on and so on. I'm still working on it. Right now I only have 3 PvE events. I think I might able to I think I might able to publish them if I could though, but I'm not sure that if I should publish them like publicly or privately. You guys can leave in the comments below what should I do with those contents, like if I could just keep them private or just give it to public anyone, and anyone can try it though. Well, besides that, I mean, some people, like, when they expect me to make content, they think that they should do it very fast and probably do it. But taking my time gives me more ideas. Sometimes these things can change, like this, like, could be just a little bit bland. I could probably make this more better than usual, but then again, I'm trying to elaborate any ideas. Because when people, and don't get me started, and don't get offended by the way. When people start doing things, they sometimes don't really think of what they're doing at all. Because like I've been receiving questions from some people like hey Raxern, you want to help me make a mini game, or you want to help me make a server? And I was like, okay, so like you want to make a server, but what kind of server specifically? People just do things straight off the bat and don't give me the details, because like when people just ask me about to help, I just don't know what's going on, and that really delays me of what I'm doing right now, and it kind of like gives me the pet peeves. Like, some people can't be specific sometimes. No offense though, anyways. And like when people don't really think of what they're doing, they don't know. Like, I mean, if they don't know what they're doing unless they know what they're doing, they give the passion to it and be specific for me. Every time people ask me to help in their content, I had to get them specifically, and some people don't get those specific real ones. So like like I'll be asking someone like, you want to work on Toxic Towers PvP? Toxic Towers PvP is it's a kit PvP, but has like a few twisted and there's no themes. And some people are like just asking a few questions, that's fine, but they're asking too many questions. It, well, no offense, it kind of stresses me out a lot though. So, I mean, don't get me wrong though, it's just the fact like, it's a bit complicated of what I'm doing though. And I've been also helping out a lot of people of what I'm working with them because they have the dream of their priority as well. I mean, sure, I like to be helpful, but then again, like, well, it sometimes get repetitive or boring. Sometimes, no offense though, no offense to the communities I've been through and that stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, helping is nice though, but sometimes there are some things we need to go on our separate ways for. And I cover everything what I'm doing right now, and so my name is Raxern. I appreciate of what you've been hearing and watching. Thanks so much for watching, and I hopefully probably see you if I able to publish more things or probably make more videos of my walkthroughs. As I promised as well, just give me some time on that as well. So, and I hope to see you next time. Take care, all of you.